Yeah, I definitely remember Tintin a lot less than Babar. I remember watching Babar. I remember actually not liking Babar at first, and then as I grew up and started liking some.
Well,
It's boring.
it's got a lot of good messages in it.
Yeah.
And slow.
And the characters have
Very
really good
slow.
voices. You're one to talk.
Oh.
For those of you who don't know, his nickname is normally Slow. So, yeah.
And rightly, I should know when things are slow. Take that.
So, anyways, what are your thoughts on a new Babar TV show?
Mixed. Very mixed. Because with the way they've been doing all sorts of remixes of my favorite childhood things, I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw what they did with Land Before Time.
What they do with Land Before Time recently?
They butchered it. Every movie after the first one.
Hey, the second one wasn't half bad. I will admit the other ones were really crap, but the second one wasn't half bad.
Well, they added all this singing. And
yeah, they went really.
They got rid of all the emotional impact of it. It's just become a standard happy-go-lucky children's show.
If you follow Don Bluth at all,
I remember Littlefoot's mother.
I know. If you remember correctly, Don Bluth was amazing back in the late 80s and early 90s, and then his company decided we're going to try and imitate Disney a little bit more than we should. And that's why there was a lot more sing-alongs.
It all went downhill from there.
Yeah.
But either way, this is sort of my fear of what will happen to Babar, that they'll get rid of all the classiness from it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get rid of all the things that made it good and just make it another samey kids show.
Sort of like TV shows gone movie. Remember Bullwinkle? Rocky and Bullwinkle?
Oh, God, that
Moose
movie.
and Squirrel. Yes, I remember them.
Yeah.
They made a live-action movie.
Live-action movie was horrible.
Whoopi Goldberg as a judge. Oh, my God.
If
it's
they,
Rocky and Bullwinkle!
If
Really,
they'd
that was
done
one of her lines.
all the characters CG, it might have been better.
But no, everybody but the Rocky and Bullwinkle were live action. And they were using cartoon humor in live action.
Sometimes that can work.
That's like...
Case in point, Roger Rabbit.
Okay, yeah.
Sometimes it can work.
Yes.
But
Roger Rabbit is a classic.
It was done right.
Yeah.
By the company that made it.
And just Rabbit.
Actually,
well, this is what I said, though. Sometimes it can be done well.
I actually have a question for both of you.
Yes.
Do any of you remember who made Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes.
Who did? Was it Disney or was it... I think it was Touchstone, wasn't it? I don't think it was Disney or Warner, but we have like those characters.
Well, clearly they would both have a hand in it because of both those characters.
I know, but I mean, what actual company made? I think it was Touchstone that made that one.
I should look it up right now.
All right. While you're searching that up, Mikey.
You lost my train of thought, eh?
Yeah, I totally just lost it. Shit. Mikey, what's your take on... well, I liked World War Z. It was a pretty awesome book.
Well, yeah, the book was, but World War Z
war
hasn't
was
actually
fine.
happened yet.
Not yet. Oh, we just needed one good virus to turn everybody into zombies.
Or fungus.
Oh,
Yeah.
I learned something interesting. If you handle raw chicken, it means that if you get one of these superbugs, the cure for the superbugs that we have won't work for you.
What?
You become immune to the drugs that will help
The vaccine.
Yeah.
What do you mean superbugs? Like flu and stuff?
Well,
Influenza? Or...
you know what superbugs are, right?
No.
They're the regular viruses that have mutated so that the regular vaccines don't work on them.
Gotcha.
So basically they have to give you even stronger antibiotics to fight them off. Eventually we're going to run out of these stronger antibiotics. If you handle raw chicken, the antibiotics won't work. They'll have to give you even stronger ones.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
You can't handle raw chicken.
I'm not sure if I believe that.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Not
as
sure.
to what you're saying about Touchstone, they were the distributors of it.
Who made it?
The studios here were Amblin Entertainment, Walt Disney,
yes.
and Silver Screen Partners 3.
But not Disney?
I just said Walt Disney is the second one.
Sorry. What about Warner Brothers?
Not on there.
Huh. So
I guess they just got permission to use the characters and the actors, and that was about it.
Okay.
They didn't
Well,
actually
Warner Brothers is
put
very
any
lenient
work into
when it
it.
comes to that stuff.
World War Z. I've read it. Cultist has read it. Mikey apparently has not read it. Fantastic book. There's a few things I disagreed with how the war would go down, but that's mostly because they were using their own custom version of zombies. Like, for instance, they had the zombies freeze when winter came around.
Because the body heat.
Yep, and that part makes sense. But when the winter passed, they thawed out again.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Because when all their cells are crystallized, basically when they de-thaw, well...
They'd be clumps.
They'd be like clumps of flesh. They'd be pretty much liquefied. Same with the zombies who exist for years at the bottom of the ocean, when really their bodies should have been completely crushed by the pressure, and the salt would have dissolved anything that's left. So that's pretty much the only gripes I had about it.
I think it was also that like it was a mysterious virus. They still weren't even fully sure why or how it was able to keep the body going and all that.
Well, yeah,
so it's like
exactly my thing though.
It may have mutated some of the flesh off of the creatures to that make them more durable.
Could have, I suppose, but it wouldn't. It wouldn't protect them from freezing. Nothing alive has ever survived that sort of thing.
But they're not alive.
Nothing dead has ever survived it either. I mean,
don't know,
yeah, they find like frozen mammoths and stuff like that.
Yeah.
However, they're in no condition to move after that. The muscle structure is destroyed. If it tried to move, it'd fall apart, pretty much.
Which is why there are no cavemen coming back to life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Contrary to all those movies.
Like Encino Man.
Yeah.
Or The X-Files.
Among other things. Mine's on a more stable surface. Now, as for how the zombie uprising will come about, how do you guys think it'll go down? Do you think it'll be a virus like everyone else says?
My bet's on some supernatural ability or some supernatural thing. I don't know why, but the whole normal, like, I can't see something normal as a virus doing that to the human populace.
I've actually found something that could, in theory, do such a thing. Yes. It is a fungus. Now, I've probably explained this to you guys before, but I'll just reiterate it for our listeners. Basically what it is it's a fungus whose spores basically root themselves into small animals and insects, and it takes over their brain. It has complete control over their impulses and what they wish to do, and it tells them to go up, to climb. Now, this is in a forest, naturally. Rainforest. So basically, the demonstration that I saw on the documentary was that they take over some ants, climb up to the top of the tree, and the fungus spores start to take root then. They basically grow through the body of the ant and take root, and then they just spread more. I mean, since it's nice and high up, it gets a nice good spread across, like, through the air and everything.
Yep.
And just think, if it was able to take over more complex creatures
if it evolved
like
a little
us.
bit further and was able to take over more like a natural sentient species.
Well,
like
who knows? Maybe it is capable. The thing is, we've never actually tried to experiment with this to find out.
And it's because, I think this is also a good thing because, well, not a good thing, but one of the consequences we'll probably end up facing when we deforest the entire rainforest.
Why would we do that?
We're already doing it. It's
Not
still
really.
Going on. Yeah, it's still going on.
I know it's still going on, but, well, here's the thing. Most of the situations where you have deforestation and all that, especially if it's by countries like ours, like first world countries, they just replant everything. Every last thing, and they often plant entire new forests.
You are very optimistic about...
let me finish...
The FCC!
Let me finish my topic. Now, the only places where deforestation is a problem is actually done by third world countries trying to make more farming land for themselves.
Like South America.
Yes. Now, my point is that not all the forests will be gotten rid of because we're not the ones doing it. And we have the largest forests in the world. In fact, north of us, there's a forest that stretches across the entire North American continent that provides most of the oxygen for the planet.
Okay.
So as long as we don't touch that, we're fine. Now, we can't say the same about the ecosystem.
But
however,
our oxygen supply will last. Now, here's another thing I've been that kind of spawned out of when we started talking about rainforests and all that, particularly with this fungal thing. There is a set of valleys in Argentina, I believe, or Brazil,